And welcome back to the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast. On today's very special episode, I have none other than the Millard Business Association. And speaking of, the president, Carlos Acosta, and Hailey Mendicino, treasurer and president-elect of the MBA. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And how's your day going so far?
Fantastic.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, first and foremost, we're going to kind of dive into things right off the bat. I'd love for you guys both to dive in a little bit about your backgrounds, maybe how long you've been a part of the MBA. And Hailey, then we're going to shift to another question for you to stem off of that. But Carlos, let's start with you. What's a little bit of background and how long have you been a part of this wonderful organization?
Yeah, I've been a part of Millard Business Association probably for about 5 years now. I've been at HomeWise Roofing for the last 8, going on 9 years. Started off as a project manager, and then I was networking at the same time. And my company wanted me to go out and network full-time, build partnerships, build relationships, build businesses and individuals, build them up. And so that's what I've been doing for like the last 6 years, is being really involved in the MBA and several other networking organizations, and just trying to help grow businesses and people.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it everywhere at all the different networking events, all the different, pretty much any event that is happening. I mean, you're there and it's always nice to see a friendly face all the time. So I love that part of things. And Hailey, I'm so curious now, first off, how'd you end up as the treasurer and then the president-elect, but a little bit about yourself maybe beforehand?
Yeah, definitely. So I work for Centris Fuller Credit Union, which is your local credit union here in the Omaha Metro. I've been with Centris for going on 9 years now.
Awesome.
I'm currently their financial sales manager for 132nd and Pacific location. I started out as a teller and just worked my way up. I've been in finance for over 15 years. And when you work for a local credit union, community involvement and giving back is such a staple for the core of what we are. And that's what really helped me align with the MBA. Right in the middle of Millard, and I had a coworker of mine. I was like, hey, I really want to get involved and I don't know how. And she reached out an arm and made a very great warm handoff to the MBA, and I went to their annual awards ceremony and just was hooked from the start. They talked about how much they gave back and the funds and helping grow businesses, and that just really aligned with who I am as a person and really filled my bucket, and it really filled my Centris bucket as well. So I went and said, hey, how can I get involved? And they're like, funny, you're in banking and we have the treasurer position open.
The stars align.
Yes, it was. So, and if there's one thing that I have learned over the years, it is say yes and figure it out later.
Yeah,
and that's
fair.
exactly what I did. I said, yeah, I would love to. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting not necessarily shoehorned into the treasurer position, but gently nudged that direction. Now, I'm so curious, what stemmed you becoming the next candidacy here for the president-elect? What kind of stemmed that decision?
Yeah, we had some great growth opportunity within the board where some other board members had to take some career promotions and board promotions, and the vice president, which is the position before the president-elect, came open, and we were at a board meeting and we were kind of talking about who we want for that candidate and what it looks like. And again, I threw my name in the hat and said, hey, all of this aligns with what fills my bucket and who I am as a person, and I would love to grow within the MBA. And threw my name in the hat, and here we are a couple of years later.
And here we are. I love it. Now, for the listeners at home, Carlos, maybe this is the best spearheaded by you. For the listeners at home, what is the Millard Business Association, or the MBA as we'll refer to it as throughout the show? What's its mission, and how long has it been around?
The MBA has been around for 20 years. I would say our mission is to help grow businesses and grow individuals and help our community. And I think we do that very often. We try to do it every day.
Yeah.
Several times a day. So, I really am happy that I found the MBA as well. And, it just gives me joy being able to help a lot of people that are new to the networking world, new to this environment, that don't know how to do it. I try to take them under my wing and teach them how to do it. And then just to see businesses flourish, to grow from one location to maybe 2, or to grow from 5 employees to 15. Those little things like that show growth and show that we're doing the right thing.
I love that. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, especially MBA members that I have had the opportunity and pleasure to talk to on this show, it always stems from a place of passion. It's, hey, I'm here because I care about people. I'm here for people. And it always correlates back to that. And it always kind of feels like not necessarily everybody's hand in hand, so to speak, but it always feels like, hey, there's always a hand you can go grab real quick. And I think that's so inviting and so welcome about the MBA, and I love that about it. Now, the MBA offers huge different ways to get involved. Now, there's plenty of them, and it also helps support a wide array of different businesses. What are some of those ways that maybe listeners out here or businesses could get involved? And I'll let either one of you tackle that one.
Yeah, fantastic question, Dylan. So we provide a vast range of options for our members to be involved in, but we also understand everyone in every company is different and have different capacities of involvement, where others can go and give hours a week and can go out to those networking events and take a step out of the office, where others, they just have a lot on their plate right now and they don't always have the in-person availability to volunteer, but maybe can in other ways by either donating or being a sponsor. There's all kinds of different ways. So the big things I want to mention today is we have referral groups which meet weekly for lunch. We also do volunteer communities, our lunch and learns, our bagels and business, our after hours. Those are all held on a monthly basis, and there's different hours in the day to best fit and work around those work schedules. And then hard pressed to do our big annual events. We've got our MBA Business Expo, Ribstock, which is another huge volunteer arm that we have that helps raise for those who are hunger challenged in the area. And then also just the big fun one that we always have a great time at every single year is our MBA Pub Crawl.
Yeah, and then you don't want to be remiss without saying you guys were hosts of the beer garden out in Millard Days this year too.
Yes.
And that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I hope a lot of people had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, it was a good time this year. Weather was good this year. Not very hot.
So. Yeah, we got lucky, so that was really nice that the weather was shining on us that day. Now, I am curious what you think are maybe some of the best ways to have listeners or businesses that are involved in the MBA capitalize on their membership, because sometimes that is a hard thing to do in itself, not necessarily due to a lack of effort on their part, but as Hailey alluded to, just maybe there's a time issue there. Maybe they just don't have the capacity to step away and really utilize some of those key points.
I think a good way for people to get involved if they don't have the time is, sponsorships. We're in the Millard Days Parade also this year, and we have been for several years. We usually win first place. This year we won second.
Oh, who beat you guys? I didn't see that.
I'm not sure who beat us.
That's an on-the-spot question.
On us.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Not to interrupt the train of thought, but continue.
But it was an awesome time. But there was signage available for that. So, and they were very fair pricing.
Yeah.
So small businesses, so they can afford it. Large businesses can definitely afford it. We wanted it to be open to everybody, not just the $1 million companies.
Sure.
The mom and pops as well. So signage was available in that. There's so many different ways to get involved. At the beer garden that you mentioned, someone could have given away their koozies or their pins, and just to have that stuff out there and see everyone drinking with that. Maybe they take it home with them, maybe they don't, but maybe it gets left on their desk for a month or two, and that's free advertising.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what it's all about. You want to be everywhere, all the time, top of mind, all the time.
Absolutely. And let's be honest.
That's one way to do it.
If you're at the beer garden and you're handing out koozies, you're everybody's best friend, first of all. So, you just got the right idea. No, I do love that. And I love that the MBA does so much for so many different businesses. Like you said, it's not just, hey, there's 5 different businesses that we just kind of roll with and that's it. No, it is so encompassing and so growing at this point. I got to feel like it's got to be a little overwhelming sometimes with how much it's growing.
Yeah, I think we've really focused on growth this year and stability. That's another reason why Hailey's moved up how she is, to get that stability on the board.
Absolutely.
And we have great people on the board. We're growing. The tips groups are growing, referral groups. Events are running smoother because we're getting more volunteers. It's just kind of coming together, and I think this year was great. Next year's going to be better, and when Hailey takes over, it's going to be even better then. So no, we're all excited, and I know I'm genuinely excited for those next kind of
future plans. We'll call them that, the future proofs that I know are going to be really, really fun for the MBA. The directory, part of the website of the MBA, I think is kind of an unsung hero of the MBA, if you ask me, because that is, for listeners at home, that is a full list of businesses and organizations that you can know and trust and work with. I'm so curious how members can utilize that, first of all, for their networking goals, and how listeners can kind of put some faith towards that list.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And I couldn't agree more. And I'm really going to hone in on a word that you said there, and it's that word trust.
Yeah.
Right? There's so many different organizations within the metro. I'll give you an example. I work for a financial. There's 108 financials just in the greater Omaha metro.
Wow.
So, oh my gosh, how is that not just a huge undertaking to figure out what aligns with me? Who can I trust? What can I trust? So to be able to use this directory as a business, it's all just like Carlos said, it's all about exposure, getting your name out there on trusted websites and the power of the referral. So the secret with this is really to ensure that for those that are on the directory, using those keywords in your description that the consumer resonates with. So for an example, I work for a financial institution. If I don't have words like checking or savings or account or auto loans or banking or mortgage, I'm not going to hit that key demographic that I'm looking for. Those are those really hot topic words that I want to make sure is in my descriptions. Another secret that I don't think is utilized as much as I'd really like to see it is really those HPA referral partners. So I'm going to use Carlos as an example.
Sure.
He works for a roofing company. I can go out there, or Carlos can go out there and look, insurance agents, mortgage lenders, and construction companies are going to be his HPA referral partners. So what that means is, who are those people out there that's really going to be that streamlined back and forth of referrals to help both companies be successful? So what businesses can do is go out there, look for those HPA referral partners, and then you've got this laundry list of potential referral partners that you can just work through, schedule those one-on-ones. But again, it's from a trusted organization that we know that we've done all the hard work for you. We filtered through these people. These are people that you can trust. We don't let those pop-ups that come in, right?
The fly-by-nights.
Right, the fly-by-nights.
Yeah.
There's a hailstorm we're going through. You have no idea who you're working with. Those are not the organizations that we want to partner with. It's people that want to invest in the greater Omaha. So we've already done that filtering for you. Now you have this laundry list that you can just go and get started and get boots on the ground.
I love that. And I do think that grouping is kind of just like the perfect little ecosystem that's already an access tool for you. Because like I had kind of reached out into different groups for insurance agents. What makes sense for us? Obviously, real estate makes the most sense for us in a lot of different ways. But, you don't see too many auto shop dealers out there. So that's a tough one to get into. But for other businesses, like you had mentioned for Carlos, like you have a lot of different options when it comes to that. And I think that it's a healthy spoiling, I'll call it that, for individuals at home, businesses at home, trying to figure out who's my next call to, which I think is just a fantastic problem to have.
Yeah.
Now, the MBA, we had kind of touched on this a little bit, has different networking groups, different tips groups, referral groups, however we'd like to kind of refer to those as. Now, I'm curious for, just kind of some thoughts and opinions on these. What's the best way to maybe grow a networking group like that? Or, in your opinion, is it best to have a industry specific compared to a non-industry specific?
I think that answer is going to be different depending on who you ask. I love an industry-specific group, but I also love a non-industry-specific group just because there might be 2 or 3 or 4 insurance agents in that group.
Right.
And, of course, the more insurance agents I'm in front of, the better. But I like both groups. Non-industry-specific tips groups, I would say, are probably easier to grow than specific and industry-specific tips groups because your lane's already taken.
Right.
You get that insurance agent, realtor, loan officer. Those are already taken. So, I started my own tips group a couple years back. We're called the Good Life Crew. We meet at 3:45 to 5 at Sean O'Casey's on Tuesdays. Please come join us or check us out. We're always growing that group, and the groups are always growing and always shrinking.
Yeah.
Someone always gets a promotion or changes jobs or whatever the case is. So as soon as you get someone, you got to keep recruiting. And I tell everyone this, you get out of it what you put into it. If you show up every week, you do one-on-ones, you do things outside of the group with people, you start building those relationships. And it's about money, but it's also, you get family, you get friends. I hang out with these people on the weekends. I'm over at their house. They've been to my house. This goes further than just making a couple bucks.
Absolutely.
You know, these are friends that I'm going to have for a long time. So that's what I really enjoy about the tips groups, about the MBA, about the committees that I'm on. I mean, I do all that stuff because it's fun. Yeah. And I get friends. Like,
absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so it's kind of a nice 2-for-1 there, because I agree. Like, if you're doing it the right way, that's how it should be looked at. Hey, I'm trying to grow my relations out. Hey, I'm trying to grow my friendships out. I'm trying to grow business in that sense too. No, I think that's a great light to put things in. Of, hey, it's not just, hey, it's about $1. Bottom line, of course, we're all business. Everybody is, but at the end of the day, you still want to be friends with the people you're doing business with, at least to a degree. Now, calendar full of events. Listeners, I encourage you, go online to the Millard Business Association's website. Go check out the full list of calendars whenever you are listening to this, because you might be hearing this later after we've recorded. It might not be current what we're saying right now. So you want to go on there and listen to this, but I am so excited because we have one of the biggest things that you guys contribute to coming up, and that's Project We Care. And I'm very, very excited for that. I'd love for you guys to kind of go into that. What is Project We Care? How do people get involved, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so Project We Care is definitely our passion project. So on the formal side, what Project We Care is, it is our nonprofit's arm to be able to give back to the community. This thing has grown exponentially over the last couple of years. For example, I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure during the holiday season, we served over 370 families who are suffering from food shortage or are financially unstable and still want to be able to have a holiday and celebrate that in whatever way that they celebrate that personally. So to be able to have that much of an arm and that much of an impact in our local community that we serve is huge. And this is where this time of year, I know it's only September, and to think that the Jolly Big Red Man might be coming out here soon is a little bit crazy. But this is where our planning starts. This is where we really make our huge focus into that community back, just because it's so stressful and so financially impacting for not only our members, but for the community that we serve.
Yeah, and there's a lot of moving pieces to it. Like I said, this is like kind of a multi-staged event that happens in the next few months here that kudos to you guys for being a orchestrative hand to kind of keep everybody in check, keep things moving, and keep things organized for people to make it as easy as possible to come be a part of such an impactful mission. And I think that the best way for people to get involved is probably just to reach out to you guys, right? Just email in, call in. What's the best route on that?
Yeah, I would definitely say the MBA's website or the Millard Business Community Foundation website is going to be the best two ways. It's going to list all the different ways for you to get involved. But since we have the platform,
absolutely,
the certain ways that would really be involved is, again, if you have the ability to show up in person and volunteer, there's a couple big days that I really want to highlight. We just had our kickoff event, which kind of brings up the troops and rallies the troop, and we start building the excitement, right? So you can adopt a child or an entire family, and those are the ways that you can get involved if you can't show up in person. We're also looking for gift cards or just monetary donations is never going to be turned away. But for those who do have the ability to show up in person, the North Pole event is the big day or the big weekend. That's where you get to go out. We're going to deliver the presents. We're going to do the food. The kids get a shop for mom and dad, which I think is such a unique aspect to this. Is we're not just, it's about the kids at the end of the day, right? Kids. We want to keep the magic there for them. We want the true believers, all those things. But also for the kids to be able to shop for their parents, I think is such a unique arm that we extend there, because it's saying, hey, we know that you do these things for the kids, but also like we see you, you're valid. Please, here's an option that you have. Also, one of my personal favorites today, and what I like to do from a team as a manager, right? Want to make sure that we're giving back, is we do a team event. And there's a certain day that we go to Target, and you get these lists, and you get to go shopping. And if there's one skill that I have, it is spending other people's money to give back to the community. That is a skill I have honed over the years, but it is such a fulfilling skill as well, because my team comes together. We get to build stronger connections as a team, and we get to give back and get all these gifts. The contest is always who can buy the most on the same dollar, like what deals can we find to maximize the money that we have available.
Yeah, something I might have to get in. I'll dust off my old college habits and be like, all right, what's the best way I could make $1 work?
Exactly.
No, I do love that. I love the care and the dedication that goes into Project We Care, and I love the support from the Millard Business Association as well. It just further speaks to the characteristics about the MBA itself, the people involved, and really what we all kind of strive all equally for and towards, I believe, is probably the right way to try to phrase that. Now, of course, everything is a business in the end. The Millard Business Association is a business in a sense here. Now, I am very, very curious, and I maybe know a little bit about the answer here already, but what's some of the toughest challenges you get faced with in today's world, and how do you navigate those for your members?
Toughest challenges, I mean, just everyone's busy.
Yeah.
Everyone's being pulled in different directions. Everyone's got a real job. So this is all volunteer, right?
Yeah.
You want to go home to your wife, your family, your kids, whoever, but sometimes you have to volunteer to do things after hours.
Yeah.
Or on the weekends. So that's the toughest part. I mean, it takes many hands to make this organization work, Project We Care work. We need more people. We need more hands. We need more excitement. I think it's going to take all of us.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the struggle, is just finding enough people to help at events and to get things going smoothly. We always want more people.
Yeah, I get that, and I think you're kind of hitting it on the head. I feel like everything's just so busy nowadays. Everybody's just so busy, and I don't know if it's because of what's going on with the election year or what have you. I just feel like everybody's busy. Right. Now, hopefully, with the winter coming, maybe people have time to slow down, maybe focus their attention to Project We Care, help provide, maybe catch up a little bit for maybe slacking off in the summer, not hanging out with all your MBA buddies. Now, volunteering, of course, a fantastic way to get involved, of course, whether that's helping out at a Millard event that's going on, just need a couple extra pair of hands, whether that's Project We Care. If you do want to reach out, where can they go to kind of reach out to you guys and get those volunteer forms or what have you?
Yeah, I'll kind of pull a quote out of The Greatest Showman. If you haven't been to the MBA website, you haven't been to the MCA website at all recently. We just got it enhanced, and it's sparkling and new and fantastic. And it's so easy to navigate. It's so user-friendly. So if you have not been out there recently, like I said, you haven't been out there at all. So go out there. It talks about all the different hybrid ways to get involved, the in-person ways to get involved, how to support your community businesses, how to support the MBA, and then Project We Care as well. Just go out there. That's the best way to be able to navigate. And then if you have questions, there's easy ways to contact us, or just show up at one of our events. Like say, hey, I'm going to go to this after hours. I'm going to go introduce myself to somebody new. And I know how scary that can be to go out there and see somebody new. But hopefully now that you know Carlos and I's voice, that's a familiar voice to a familiar face to help you get involved.
Absolutely. And you can't mistake my voice. I've got the perfect face to go along with it, I promise. But we've kind of talked about why Project We Care is honestly so impactful and why it's such a huge part of the MBA. Now, I am more curious, though, on this side of things, and this will actually be a question for the both of you. What's something personally, either touching or maybe something really special that you've gotten to see maybe firsthand, or just something you get to experience because of Project We Care?
Yeah, I would say one, I'm going to steal this from somebody else. This is not my story, but it really resonated with me, is we recently have had people that have had to receive the benefits of Project We Care. But then to hear back that they come a year or 2 or 3 later and say, hey, it was so impactful for me. I'm in a better spot now. I want to volunteer my time. That's what it's all about is, hey, you helped me here. Now I'm in a spot that I can help others. Like, talk about a circle of giving. Like, that's bringing it full circle for me.
I love that.
For me, I think I had a big wow moment last year at our gala, I believe it was. We were awarding the winners of the scholarships their money for the grant that we do for the golf tournament. And one of the young ladies who won it, I knew her parents, and I didn't even realize they were there.
No
and I
kidding.
didn't realize they were sitting like one table away from me. And after the event, the guy came up to me and he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, hey, I'm Carla. He's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, your daughter won. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, that's so awesome that someone I know, happened to win.
Right.
Even though I've never met her before, I don't even know her, but he was the parent that I knew. And So it was just kind of awesome that I was a part of that in some sort of way. He was a part of us for that evening, and we could help out his daughter go to school. And I just kind of thought that was super awesome that I saw the whole circle.
That is so cool. That's got to be just such a powerful impact to really see, hey, it's always great when you talk about donations and you talk about scholarships and you do all these things, but to see them firsthand and to really experience it. Yeah. That's got to feel really, truly amazing. So I love that. Thanks for sharing those with us. I know listeners at home always appreciate a personal connection to things like this as well. And of course, just for reiteration's sake, how can listeners at home get involved with Project We Care?
I would say just go to the website, find an event that touches your heartstrings, whether that's gift wrapping or shopping or just showing up to help out, serve lunches or direct traffic, whatever they have you do. There's so many different ways to get involved. They do so many events throughout the year. They do a couple of game nights out at the Storm Chasers as well. There's always something going on. Best way, get on the website or get a hold of Richard Havorka. Or you can always reach out to the MBA too, and we'll get you directed the best we can.
Of course. And of course, for listeners wanting to get involved with the MBA, maybe they just have questions on how things work. What's my first step?
Again, I would say check out the website.
Okay.
We have a great admin assistant named Lindsay. She'd be more than happy to reach out to you, have a conversation with you on the phone or email. She's been great as well, helping us with numerous things. But yeah, I mean, just get on the website, or you can always call me. I mean, my number's out there. It's on the website. It's all over town. 402-968-8451. Call me. I will get you involved. Trust me.
Yeah, he's going to get you involved. And again, you couldn't talk to anybody more charismatic about it either. I mean, you're at everything. You know everybody, it feels like. And it's just a really friendly face when you run into an event and you see you walking around. It's always good to comfort and be like, hey, I can always go say hey to Carlos and definitely see who else I run into along the way. So I do love that. And I do love how passionately involved you are with the MBA. I think it just helps new members, and I think it helps ease people into that process a lot. Mm-hmm. Now, before we flip into my personal side of things, I always jokingly call them my burning questions here. Is there anything else about the MBA or Project We Care or anything like that that you'd like the listeners at home to know or maybe go check out?
No, I think we did a fantastic job covering kind of everything. I would just say the big thing is how excited I think Carlos and I both are for the upcoming years. There's going to be some fantastic changes in really meeting our members where they're at by providing value and substance for their personal development as well. Yes, it's all about making those connections and that's business aspirations, but it's also really about investing in them as humans and as professionals too. And that's the niche that I'm really personally excited about coming into the next couple of years.
I know it's exciting. We're all excited for it as well, because I know I'm very excited this year as last year when I first started with United Insurance Agencies. I started about right when Project We Care kicked off, and then we moved right in the middle of it. And so it was tough to get involved my first year. So I'm excited this year that I get to be able to be involved with Project We Care. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
If I could just add on to that, I was going to say the same thing, Hailey. I'm really, really excited where we're at, where the board's at, with the consistency we're having. We have some really, really great people on our board that are doing some really great things in their positions on the board. So this thing is just going to grow, and we're going to reach so many people. We're going to get businesses involved. We're going to grow this thing. It's going to be fun. If we're going to make money for Project We Care, from MBA. It's an exciting time, and it's a new change. It's a new era. It's our 20th year anniversary. We're excited and we're happy to be a part of it. So thank you, Hailey, for helping us so much.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for including and being around for all of us who are part of the MBA, business-wise, individual-wise, what have you. Thank you again for 20 years of growing and growing the right way. So I think that's genuinely appreciated across all of the board there. Now, burning questions of the day. Are you guys ready? No, I'm just kidding. They're not that bad. But I do like to draw these parallels for people because, sometimes getting wrapped up in business, we forget about the people that are behind that business. So it's nice to know a little bit more about the people behind the scenes, so to speak. Now, summer is unfortunately gone. I am.
Especially today. It is a chilly one today.
It's disrespectful outside to me. And I am such a summer child. I love the heat. I am the weird Nebraskan that's actually enjoying the summer. But I am curious, now that it's fall, and I have to choke those words out, now that it is fall, what's something that you guys maybe look forward to, or maybe something you love to do around this fall and winter kind of time frame?
For me, I like just having a campfire, watching the game, just hanging out by the fire with some friends, listening to music, or someone's playing some music, just socializing out by the fire, kind of outside on a nice crisp evening. Is kind of what I really enjoy.
I do love me a good bonfire, some good people around, some good food. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Probably very similar. It's spooky time. It's time to get creepy and scary. I would say we have so many different pumpkin patch options in the metro.
Yeah.
Just going around and experiencing those, and I'm a wife. I've got two younger kids. They're not young anymore. Geez, and they're all into that. I got a Halloween baby, so it's getting out and experience all those. I mean, football is a huge thing as well in our households. So,
well, if you need a great pumpkin patch, Skinny Bones Pumpkin Patch, friend of the show, they have some new attractions this year. Ooh. So if you need something new to go see, there's also a new food option out there as well. I won't spoil anything. You can go check out the website, or you can go check out our episode, I should say. Shameless promotion. Shameless plugs all day. No, I do love those. That is the one saving grace for me about fall, is that football's back at least, and although I do enjoy hoodie season, it's always short-lived because the air starts to hurt your face too quickly, and then we're in winter. But my last question for you, and this one I really genuinely enjoy my answers that I get because they're not always the same. So I'm curious to see what I get today. So Carlos and Hailey, what is your considered Mount Rushmore of Omaha? It could be food, it could be entertainment, it could be whatever is just kind of in your top 5 of, like, if you're in Omaha, you got to go see this, because we're spoiled here in Omaha. There's so much.
Yeah.
It's a tough question, though.
Yeah, it is a tough question, and I'm thinking food because I'm hungry. I haven't ate yet today.
Me too.
but I want to still check out that Brazilian steakhouse thing with all the meats.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't checked it out either.
Yeah, I want the meat sweats, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to be wheeled out.
I would say for me, I would say anything Old Market, especially when Mariah Carey starts to thaw out, and you know that music is coming, and all the trees are lit up, and they've done such a great job on
They have revamped it.
That. And then to see a show at the Steelhouse, I think that venue is so absolutely amazing. I've been there multiple times. I could go see all the shows there. Do
love the Steelhouse. Have you caught a show at the Astro yet?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. It's
very good. I live over in that area as well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can hear it from my house. So
right? I was like, if you can hear it, just man. Any others you guys want to throw up on the Omaha wall or Mount Rushmore, so to speak? We got Steelhouse Old Market, and I'm drawing a blank on that Brazilian restaurant's name.
It's like
Brazilian, Texas?
Yeah.
Texas de Brazil?
Something like that. Right, yeah. I also like Harrah's Concert Cove. That's a great place.
I've never been out there.
Oh, that's super cool.
Okay, cool Harris Concert Cove. Okay, so on my list. When I'm writing it down on the paper, everybody knows on the show that's
Teddy
on my
Swims
list.
was just there last Thursday or something. I know.
I heard that concert was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, I'm sure my buddy Derek was there. I'm gonna have to ask him how it was.
Yeah. I went to Creed recently there. And it was probably top 3 concert I've ever been to.
Nice. Yeah. Weirdly enough, Florida Georgia Line, love them or hate them, they are one of the best live acts I think I've ever seen.
I believe it.
Yeah, weirdly enough, and this is probably like 10 years ago now. Not to age myself here too much, but if they're still doing music, but no, I love it. Now, Carlos, again, appreciate you making some time out here. Hailey as well. I really appreciate you making time to come on out to the UIA Trusted Partners podcast and jumping on the program with us. Before we let you go, is there anything you'd like the listeners to know? Maybe anything else that we maybe missed that you thought of?
No, I want to thank you to give us the opportunity to reach out and let us elevate what we do for our 9 to 5s, and then also what we do for the MBA during all hours of the day.
It's my pleasure.
And yes, and all the times.
The late night calls. Yep.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no, it's my pleasure. It's absolutely my pleasure. I'm really happy to have you guys on here. And listeners at home, of course, we've had the distinct pleasure to sit down with Carlos Acosta, President, and Hailey Mendicino, Treasurer and President-elect of the Millard Business Association, a.k.a. the MBA. Go be a member today. You know you want to sign up and make some new lifelong friends and maybe some dollar bills while you're at. Maybe, just maybe. Go on out to the MBA and get signed up today. And plus, Project We Care in full swing. Go be a helping hand this winter. Hailey, Carlos, thanks again so much for being on. And thank you, listeners at home, for tuning in to the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast.